They definitely underestimated what you are capable of doing to get what you want. Aquarius, that's the energy that I'm working with. If that's something you're resonating with, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe. Let's get into it. I'm getting straight into it. This is Roses Are Red. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. If you're returning, I'm so happy to have you. Okay, so I'm just getting straight into it. You have Four of Greens here in reverse. You have Knight of Greens in reverse. The Sun card, Eight of Cups in reverse. Guys, I do want to say a prayer first, so let me just say a prayer first. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. This Sun card, I feel like it's so important here. And this Ascension in reverse, I feel like there's something to be said about that. So I'm going to take all of these cards in the upright. I feel like your Sun card is basically your core. And I pointed to my heart, even though people say your core is down here in your gut. I'm just feeling like it's something higher. There's this energy of like someone just being like of the earth. Like you're walking around on your hind legs. You got to threaten everybody you walk past like it's the apocalypse. And I just feel like you've graduated from that energy. Whereas though you can basically get back into your academia phase, like, you know, when things are really just about talking heads and thoughts and feelings, and people aren't wielding weapons, or the only weapon is basically their mind, and you can have fun. That's just overall instantly the energy that I feel like you can have fun with this energy. The last reading I did, and this is a series that I'm doing called Crybabies Pity Party. The last reading was about you coming into some wealth. So you might want to check that out because we started with Four of Grains. It was meant to be a small amount, but it expands rapidly because of the way you invest it. So it's like someone, I don't know, like someone's invested in stocks or Bitcoin, or they're buying a winning lottery ticket, or just, guys, I don't know where that cut off. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to repeat everything that I just said. I literally just probably spent about 2 or 3 minutes naming all of these ways that you could be making money online for some random reason. Hopefully that got recorded. If not, there are many ways you can make money online. And I'm just going to leave it at that with this Four of Grains here. I'm not sure if you got the message about this energy being relevant possibly from the last reading, but I'm just gonna move into this energy. It feels like basically you're ascending, and there was a low vibe that you were dealing with in the past that you're graduating from, and you're no longer dealing with that. This could have something to do with the battery. I'm just gonna switch this out real quick. So, because usually when it cuts off, it's the battery. So they definitely underestimated what you are capable of doing to get what you want. Aquarius, that's the energy that I have for you. I'm not even sure right now because my camera just got cut off. Hold on. They definitely underestimated what you are capable of doing to get what you want. Aquarius, that's the energy that I have for you. I did just record this a little bit and it got cut off. So I do have some of your cards already pre-pulled and over this reading already, which I'm not going to repeat because that seems a little disingenuous. But we are in this energy right now, and so I'm just going to get right into it. Basically, the energy, the cards that I pull and what I'm reading from this energy is that you're graduated into an ascension. Originally, these two cards and this card was in reverse. So you have the Four of Grains here. And the last reading was about you coming into some wealth. If you're watching a series, I'm doing these readings in a series and uploading them as a playlist. It's called Cry Baby's Pity Party. And basically, I feel like the story is someone who was expected to cry about the situations that they're going through. The environment was basically having you like crawl up into a fetal position, but that's not what you did. You took this little bit of uh, love and light that you were holding on to, and you expanded it. So that's basically where we are in the readings. You can call this the 11th day that we're working on this energy. So for 4 of Grains to come out as a start, I feel like this is money that's coming into your possession. I'm looking at money like any type of resource, anything that you can work with and create from a space of abundance. And it moves into a Knight of Grains, like you just go straight into your work mode. You're putting so much together with this energy that you have. Like everything that comes towards you is potential to prosperity and make you some sort of a wealth, reproductive situation. Then you have the Sun card here and the 8 of Cups with the Ascension. So overall, it's like the energy is changing and fluctuating, and at some point people do come in, energies do come in, try to attach themselves to you, try to bring you down in some way. But I just feel like you're in ascension, like you graduated from that energy. So let's just get right into it. There's a lot to be said here about you making money online. That's where it cut off in the last time. Actually, I don't think I ever pressed record, but there's a lot of energy about you making money online, because I feel like it's something easy you can do easy, where you get to sit back and just watch everything grow. So let's see what's coming up. It says, then thy handmaid said, the word of my lord the king shall now be comfortable, for as an angel of God, so is my lord the king, to discern good and bad. Therefore the Lord thy God will be with thee. That's very poignant. That's so interesting that comes up, that you're going to be sitting comfortably like a king, discerning good and bad. Because I wanted to get into that this energy and space that you're in, you're graduating from the low level vibes that have been pulling on your energy. It's not like you just pop up out of nowhere, or like, so for some of y'all it does feel like you are born in heaven and you sit on the throne all your life and never have a care. But for some of y'all, you did go through the whole process of leaving heaven, being accused of being Satan or satanic, being crucified at like you were the devil, spending some time in hell, rising back up, rising even higher than before, and sitting on the right hand side of the Father. I feel like it's a whole journey for some of us. That's the journey that I'm focused on. The so-called fool's journey is following Christ for some of us. And it puts you in a much, much higher position, because before you would have sat under your father the entire time, and now you sit beside your father. But I will have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried careth for the things that belong to the Lord, how he may please the Lord. There's something coming up about a marriage, possibly even you being a queen or a king for some of y'all. My cat is crying in the background. Okay. Something about charity is coming up, teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lust, we may live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world. Yeah, so this is the energy, like you having to be around these wine bibbers and gamblers and people who are addicted to all sorts of things, and they just live in that addictive energy. I feel like you rising above that puts you in a clearer space and a clearer place to think. Yeah, because this was the energy of you operating from a wealthy space. Did we already talk about the higher ceilings? There's so much that got cut out. Like, speaking about, because this was the last reading of you being in a second story. So there's some energy of your ceilings being like you're breaking through the ceilings and you have more space to think and more space to operate. That's what I'm getting with this 8 of Cups here. The Ascension. Okay. And then it says basically you being in a sober space to think and operate. It feels so much better now that you know. For some of y'all, maybe you just living around people who are addicts, or maybe some of y'all were addicts yourselves, and now you are sober, and it's genuinely so much better. So something here about evil, the Lord reward him according to his works. Wow, this energy is moving really fast, because there's also some energy here. Like there's a group who they love getting high, and that's their reward. Like some people are traveling to locations where they'll feel more comfortable getting high. Like the cops won't say much or something like this, or there's more abundance of whatever it is their vice of choice, and that is their heaven. That's what they love. They sacrifice their looks, they sacrifice their health, and it's okay for them. But I feel like the space that you're in is aware of the choices that other people make, and that's part of your abundance. So it's unfortunate for them that they have to go through that lifestyle, but for you, it's like it's part of your good fortune to know that that's not the life that you chose. If that's making sense for anyone. You have toward, in the direction of, in relation to, facing from the opposite side, and drag here, to pull along, with effort to haul. When the altar was anointed, the leaders brought their offerings for its dedication and presented them before the altar. And all the congregation worshipped, and the singers sang, and the trumpeters sounded. And all of this continued until the burnt offering was finished. So that's very interesting how that lines up with this offering here, a celebration. I almost feel like your enemies are being put on the altar. Somebody could be dressing in drag. I feel like that drag has something to do with drag racing. I'm seeing a drag racing situation and a woman holding flags. Like on your mark, get set, go. Lord God, please strengthen me. 16:28 in Judges. This is Samson's strength. And I'm also seeing tournament here, a set number of contests that includes many teams or players and produces one winner. It feels like you're definitely coming up on top, and not to call anyone losers, but that is the technical term for the scenario, that it feels like you may be surrounded by losers, or these losers are being put up on the altar. But they love being in a higher position, even if it just means they're getting high. Unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of God. Whenever I feel like someone is being put on a chopping block, it always feels like Jesus steps in to remind you that he was the worst of the worst. He went even lower than the worst of the worst. I feel like that was his way of conquering Satan, by being even lower than the devil. And then he rose back up and sits beside the Father. So it's kind of like, no matter how low you go, God is always in control. He always reigns, and he's the Father. I am heaven. So heaven is coming up here. War takes place here. My floodgates open. Jesus mentioned me quite often. Elijah wrote a chariot here. I am called a better country. I'm old and new. There are many creatures here. God spoke from here. I am not big enough to contain God. Multitudes gather around and throne here. I feel like that's interesting. Not being big enough to contain God. And some people think like, well, God is in heaven, the devil is in Satan, the devil is in hell. Like Satan rules hell and God rules heaven, but God rules all. God rules heaven, God rules hell, God rules earth, and everything we don't know about. Jesus came here after final instructions. Names are written here. Satan fell from here. God's throne is here. God dwells here. So even though God lives in heaven, he roams the earth to and fro. He does. I don't know how much to say about this, because I don't really consider myself a prophet, but I feel like he does everything the devil does and worse and better, because God created Satan. So God rules over Satan. Let me know if this is resonating for you. I just feel like this is salvation for someone and going through this ascension, because a lot of times people who are beneath you, literally beneath you, like even my cat tries to dominate, and she's so small. She's still a kitten. but she's like gritting and glaring and just demanding things and whatever. But it just feels like people who are literally beneath you in stature, maybe height wise. So this could be kids trying to dominate you, people who, I don't want to really call out what I consider to be beneath you or whatever, but whatever you consider to be beneath you, this is what these people are. And they're still trying to beat down on you like they're above you, but the love comes from above. What I'm getting at is I feel like you're rising above that, and no matter what, no matter how they pretend to be above you, so called, and they feel like being above you puts them in a position to beat down, even though you love the things that are beneath you and love comes from above, they are desperately trying to beat you down. It's just not working. I feel like that needs to be said to someone. Like, yeah, you do have people who are literally punching the air trying to beat you down, but it just doesn't work. So people with Jesus and Joseph here in the carpenter shop, is like people are really working hard to support you as well, and you're feeling that supportive energy. I feel like they're angels here because it's almost like they're invisible to these demons. There's a war going on, and you're definitely in the middle of it, but I don't feel like you feel the agitation because of the love that God has for you. Again, with these haters being put on the chopping block, they're being sacrificed and put on the altar. Their hatred is the definition of love. That's just how they flow. That is their relationship to love, is hatred. If that makes sense for anyone, you can still feel that energy as love. So the last reading was about a verbally abusive amateur. Did I mention this is for Aquarius? Because this is, the reading is basically like they underestimated what you're capable of to get what you want. You have 7 of Cups here. You had so many opportunities, so many choices that you could have gone, but you chose the straight and narrow path. Very few people are going the path that you went, and that's directly to God. So yeah, underestimated you. I feel like they didn't realize that you would pull on their energy regardless of whether they're out there harming themselves, whether they, are addicted to pain. That's their business. You still get love. That's what I feel like they thought that you would fight them, and this would somehow get you entangled in their negative, low level toxic energy. But you chose love. So you're sitting in abundance and they're sitting in poverty, and you two are right next to each other. I'm even seeing like this mansion right next to a shack, and this person is like, this is in the same neighborhood, and this person lives in a shack and you live in a mansion, and you guys have the same, basically the same space to operate. This person chooses to operate in a low level energy, and you choose to operate in love. You have successful funding. You're divinely guided and supported by the same infinite wisdom of God that gave you the idea. Do not allow money concerns to prevent you from turning it into a reality. Crowdfunding, partnerships, and other investments are available to help you. So I definitely feel like with this 4 of grains here, that money is coming in from an outside source. So now I'm kind of getting a vibe that maybe this person doesn't realize that they're supporting you. Like almost like how people and people who are part of a lottery, everyone, all types of backgrounds, has the option to buy a ticket, but only one person wins, or however it works. I feel like there's multiple winners sometimes, but if you're the one that takes it all home, there were so many people to contribute to this jackpot that you're taking home, even if it's just being with the Lord. The anger is part of it. You have 7 of Cups twice. I feel like there's an infinite amount of sources here that are playing into your reward system. Just like with this card, and you have Christ looking up at the stars. That's how I feel like. It's like your blessings are as countless as the stars. 9 of Water here. And Knight of Air. This is the vibe of you'll do whatever it takes to rise above, and people observing you, they might have saw you wielding that sword a few times. That sword may even have some blood on it. And it is what it is. This is a war. This is a spiritual battle. So it's like you're not ashamed to fight back. But at the same time, I feel like you're walking into this abundance without a scratch. So let's keep moving forward. I feel like this card wants to come out. It's gentleness. Yeah. That's what I'm getting from you not having a scratch. It's like you still just go back to your loving energy. You being loving, kind, pure, humble, sweet. Going back to your project, your child for some people. Maybe this is like you working around some toxic energies, but you have a loving family and supportive family at home. And it's very clear that the people you work around don't. It's very clear that they go home and hate life and hate their neighbors and hate their car and all the doors. They just hate it. So there's no doors really being open to them. They don't see life in that way. They just want to slam doors and be angry and unhappy. So any more energy for this? Let's see. Doesn't seem like anything else wants to come out. So let's move on. Let's get some energy from our T deck. Okay, Four of Cups is coming out. It kind of struggled there. Something about a monkey in a cage. I've been hearing that a lot. Like somebody's being treated like a monkey in a cage or a monkey in a tree. I don't know if this is your energy or what, but it's like monkeys in a tree afraid to come down. And now you don't have to be afraid because you're a human. You have graduated from being a monkey. I don't know how to put that into words, but it's like a primate. Like some people are living in a prehistoric time. Like cavemen, they operate with this caveman energy. And then they, at the same time, they want to treat you like a monkey. Like you're even lower than a caveman, but yet you're a fully evolved human being. And you don't even look at cavemen with animosity. You love. Yeah, but at the same time, these cavemen don't love you. Okay, so this is hope coming up. Go to the orphanage. I feel like this is energy of giving back and not being put in a place of basically like you have to love anyone, because that was a vibe that was coming up. Like someone is trying to force love out of you, like dab you like a tree or a resource and force this love out of you, but you do it by choice. So I feel like there's a message here to go back and give back to these other people who may be still in the same situation, suffering like you were suffering. You know, just like Christ coming back, and it may be hellfire for these haters to pay. So what do they have to say? Deep down, my intentions with you have always been pure. So someone's definitely have a change. They're having a change of heart right now. This could also be the energy that you're in. Like it's not, there's no hard feelings here. Even though it's hard feelings all around, you still come from a soft place and a pure heart. But I feel like there's someone imitating you or mirroring you here, and kind of trying to speak from the same place. Or this could be this monkey energy. Someone from the past who is basically saying, I'm on the way where you're going. Like they're trying to evolve and grow within themselves and get out of this monkey energy, but they're still afraid because they still live in a threatening situation. There's still alligators and barracudas on the ground trying to chew on their ankles. So I feel like the energy is like coming from a place of compassion, having compassion on the people that you're going back to save, possibly like Harriet Tubman. So I feel like this energy is kind of closing up. The past life. Yeah, definitely something from the past. Deja vu, repeated patterns, but also karmic lessons for some people. I guess this is a warning to some of y'all to not go back in the past. There's mixed messages here with the Harriet Tubman coming up. for some of y'all, maybe you're just going to leave and not come back. But there is some energy like there's somebody that still needs your help, and to not completely forget about where you came from, because the situation you're in could be where they are. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like if this is the future, like there are really good pure people who are suffering, and then they suffer just the way you suffer. Like, don't forget about them, even if it's just to build a charity, helping out people with this money that you're coming into. Like, to recognize that people do need help, and not everyone are these evil bastards that's just causing problems and a menace to society. He that believeth on me shall never thirst. God is your resource. And I feel like I'm going to close with that, because you have everything you need. This money that's coming in is going to last a lifetime. The way you invest it, the way you use it is just going to, it's going to change so many people's lives. That's what I'm feeling. So that's the energy that I have. If you're resonating with that, let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, join my members only, book a personal reading. Thank you so much for watching.